As a renowned writer, do you inform your colleagues at the start of a new job of your literary renown, or do you keep it under wraps and leave it for them to find out?
Yeah, to be fair, I think I don't tend to like tell anyone who I'm a writer, because I think the major fear I had, like right from the start of even building my career in financial services, was that if people found out that I was a writer, like maybe they would think, oh, you are committing most of your time to the other to your talent, to your writing. So I always had that fear that, oh, maybe I won't get a lot of opportunities. So like I always like tend to keep it under wraps. But you know, even with the screening, by the time they start doing this your body screening and they do the searches online, it just definitely comes up here. And they have to approve that they're happy with the other business activities and all of that. Yes, but I don't tell anyone, like I just keep it under wraps. I don't want, because mainly what that does is that it brings you like that unusual spotlight, and I don't want that. And also, like in the case of when we work together, I also saw that I was like becoming like a workplace poet and all of those things, and it took me a while to break free from that. And even like when you're a workplace poet, do you want to be a workplace poet or a global poet? So I wanted to become a global poet. I had to break free from the chains of like, so for me, I feel like I'm trying as much as possible to avoid a scenario whereby I'm like a workplace poet, or people in the workplace are celebrating me when I need to be celebrated like on a global scale. Yeah, so for now I don't tell, but I think my leaders know anyways, like with time they know. So even like my last organization, they bought my books, they shared it to the financial crime compliance poetry, shared it to the whole team, and I get that support from time to time. But it's not a thing like, oh, please, I'm a poet, I'm a writer. No. I don't do that.
I can kind of sort of relate, especially of late, because I'm having to be more conscious of the social media policies of the different agencies that I might work with. And not that there's any crossover, but I always want to keep myself kind of ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So should there be, which is unlikely, but should there be any kind of interference with what I do as my side ventures, if you will, then I want to know. So it's kind of difficult not letting them know, because like you say, they will find out once they do their background checks, social media, this and that, it's going to come up. It's definitely going to come up.
Definitely.
So it's difficult to keep under wraps. But even myself, I try to play it cool, because the thing about me is I'm an introvert. So it's difficult to talk up about myself. I'd rather let the work speak for itself and then go from there. You know, but of course, when people find out, now they start asking questions. And it becomes more about that than, okay, but I'm here for this. You know, I want to get this over the line. Then we can talk about that. But it's interesting. So far, it's all been positive experience, because a lot of people are not really even familiar with that kind of world. But it is still difficult to keep under wraps. So I can relate there.
It's just like a burning candle, and you can't cover it.
Exactly.
You can't.
No matter what you try.
Shining light. So once it goes on Google, and you want to be you want your name to come up.
Of course.
It's not bad. That you're successful at the other things that you do.
It's not bad. It's just.
It's just that would they understand? Would they see it as a distraction? Because some are just, eyes on the ball. This is, but even in the day job, we give them everything. We give them our blood, tears, and sweat. Like we give everything. So it's not like a case of when it's 5, we just hang up the boots. If work has to be done past 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, stay in and get it done. So it's more like whatever your hands find to do it well, and that is what we do, either in the creative side or in the 9 to 5 side.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing that, you know, sometimes it's difficult until they see your productivity. They might not necessarily believe it. And I have to emphasize that, you know, my creative side is very important to me. But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna neglect the professional side.
But you have to explain to them.
You have to believe that. That's the thing. You have to explain. But to be fair, I mean, most people understand it. I mean, one of my managers previously, she was my cheerleader, man. I don't know if she wants to be named, but she was my cheerleader.
Yeah.
From day one, she was saying, listen, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
You're going to do things that even you think, you know, I was speaking to a friend of mine and I was like, she believed before even I believed.
Yeah.
You know, when I was telling her about some of the things that, you know, I want to do and I'm getting into, she believed more than I did.
Yeah.
So when you have that experience, it's fantastic because it's just easier to then explain.
Yeah.
But then obviously you can sometimes have obstacles where they think your creative side is more important. But it's like, no, they're both important.
To be fair, I've had like both sides. Like I was at a global investment bank, seconded to Canary Wharf, and the managers there that I was working with, you know, they went on Wikipedia, saw my profile, and they were bigging me off like in a team meeting. I say, oh wow, Tolu so his Wikipedia profile. You know, they were the ones celebrating me, and I have like a lot of even colleagues when we work together that used to like leaders celebrating my literary accomplishments, supporting me, and there are some others that would greet me in the office, but no, they would greet me on social media, like on LinkedIn posts, but in the office they would just ignore me, or in the office they would say like, oh, you shouldn't be here, you should be selling your books. But on social media, when all the other leaders are greeting me, they will be in the comment section as well, celebrating me. But in the office, they were like, who is this guy? This, like, you know, is already getting successful, and they saw me like as a threat as well. So I've had like both sides of the coin.
Yeah, man, snakes in the grass, man. Like sometimes, you know, without even intending to, you make enemies. Yeah. And it's like, I don't have a problem with you. Yeah. You know, like I'm just doing my thing. Like, why do you?
No, but there are people like that. Like even in the creative side as well.
Oh yeah.
Every time Tolu comes out with a book, there are people like, oh, it's just another book. Is it why? Is it the only one? Another book again? Like people just feel threatened by you. You don't know them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know
with them.
Yeah.
Why do you care so much about me?
I don't know you.
He's dropped another book. Yeah. Is it the only? Oh, come on.
Yeah. Honestly, man, like, you know, thank God sometimes for some of my upbringing because it keeps me very well grounded. Yeah. Because I have times where, I'll give you an example. Last year, I was working at a very prestigious race event. Yeah. And the way that I was able to get the opportunity was very much unconventional. Wow. Because there were some things that you have to do and people you need to speak to. And in fairness, I'm supposed to do that as well. Yeah. But I didn't know what I was doing. This is very early on, very early on. So anyway, one of my photography friends, he had been trying to get the opportunity. I say friends, it was somebody that I knew. Yeah. And you'll know why I say that shortly. So he had been telling me he'd been trying to get into that event for years, and he couldn't. But my first day turning up, I was able to get it. Wow. So then I was happy. I wanted to share with most of my friends in my real life. They don't know, they don't really understand the ins and outs.
The importance of even getting on your first day.
Exactly. So who can I share this with? Well, I know I met this guy. He's a photographer as well. So I shared it with him. And that was the last time I spoke to him.
Oh, wow.
Or should I say the last time he spoke to me? Wow. Because he wasn't happy that he'd been trying all these years, wasn't able to get it. Yeah. Me on my first try, and I didn't even do it correctly. Yeah. Like I said, I just turned up, and I was just looking for whom I can speak to. No, nothing. And that worked for me. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to work for everybody. In fact, most times it doesn't. Yeah. But the mere fact that I got it before him and he wasn't happy with that. Yeah. And he hasn't spoken to me since. He doesn't like my Instagram stuff like he used to. And it's just like so petty because how does he know that maybe I've got a rapport with these people to where I can say, hey, by the way, I know a great photographer.
Yeah, I can get him on.
I can get him on. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying I'm well connected or anything, but that sort of pettiness is rampant. I see it all the time myself.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think I've experienced that even like in the family setting whereby if you have or someone who is successful, so say it took me like 10 years to become successful in something, there's maybe an uncle who took 10 years before he became successful wants your family also to take that same 10 years. Otherwise, they want you to also experience the same. If they had to wait 10 years to buy a car, why are you buying the car in a year or 2 years? No. Yeah. So they don't want to see you succeed in that sort of way, because people feel like, oh, if it took me 5 years to buy my first house in the UK, then why do you want to buy your house in 1 year? No, you have to wait for. So like it's a rampant, like it's something that is a predominant thing that does happen, whereby people. But my dad always used to tell us whilst growing up that the sky is wide enough for all birds to fly. So if we see other people succeed around us, let's celebrate with them. Don't hate other people for their own success. But I see that a lot. Like people just don't want. For me personally, I put people on when I have the opportunity. Like just give everybody the opportunity to fly. But there are a lot of people who just don't want they don't want to see everyone succeed. They believe like, oh, he has waited for years, you also have to wait for years. How come you got in at your first
my first go,
at your first try? So that way, but rather than channel that energy to something positive, maybe since you're now in, you can make a case to get him in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So but the people don't see from that lens, you know.
Yeah, because I mean I've had it the reverse side where somebody I know has managed to get into something that I might have been trying, and then because I'm happy for him and I'm genuinely happy for him, I'm not even expecting anything. But before I know it, he's like, hey, would you like to help me on such and such event?
Wow.
I'm like, yes. Yes, I would.
Happily.
So that's my in now. You know, and again, I'm not saying that should be the motivation, but just being happy for other people's success.
Very important,
You know, it brings success to you. You might not see it, but it brings good things to you as well, good favor. You know, and I like what you said about how your dad said, you know, not to hate other people for their success. Because ultimately, what does that do for you?
It kills you.
You know, it kills you.
Bitterness kills. You know? Bitter people, they are always sad, miserable, and lonely.
Honestly.
So bitterness kills. When people succeed around you, so you know, celebrate them, rejoice with them. Your own success is coming as well. So
that's it, man.
So if you are watching us, take that on board.
Take that on board, and you know, use that as motivation, because that's what I did. I saw my peers, you know, people that I looked up to, and I'm like, wow, they're up there. I want to be there as well. You know, and I figure my way out. You know, obviously there are gonna be people helping you along the way, but hating somebody who's up there because you want to be up there, or you're struggling, or whatever, it doesn't
make sense.
No, it doesn't make
lead
any
to growth.
sense. No.